what would be missing in the Northern Alliance? One of these. Oh. And in this video we are going to talk about the Northern Alliance for King's War Vanguard. These are a mix of different races. You've got humans, dwarves, elves, naiads, half-elves, trolls, giants aren't in Vanguard, apart from in one scenario actually, but we'll get onto that in a different video. I think point is they've got a lot of different races to play with, and coming from the north, it's snowy, they've got a lot of ice weapons. So the warband special abilities, starting with hardy veterans, need 1 power to use. Use this ability when a model would be knocked down. Spend 1 power to gain the steady ability for this attack. So it's hard to not say special ability, but whatever. Models that already have steady may re-roll the result. This ability can be used any number of times in a round, which isn't bad. Steady is always good to stop yourself getting knocked down, which is the main way of trying to kill the enemy. So, it's not a bad one at all. Next one is Talnar's Pack. Northern Alliance warbands may take 1 additional large model than the game size would allow, which is nice. So you can have either 2 ice trolls or an ice troll and an ice troll. I think it's chieftain. We'll get onto them. Next is the faction specific spells. Hold fast, which is short, 9-inch range. Target a friendly model even if it is engaged. No dice roll is required. For the remainder of the round, the model has +1 modifier to any nerve test it is required to make, and may add +1 bonus dice to any dice roll it must take. Oh, okay, so essentially you get 2 dice per armor roll. That's how I read it anyway. I think it does need FAQing, but yeah, that's how I read it anyway. As a boost version, cast as a long action instead, as above, but the modifier is increased to 2+, and the dice bonus dice are increased to 2. So 3 dice for an armor save. That's, well, per armor save. So say you need to make 3 armor saves, you've got essentially 9 dice to do so. Which, am I reading that right? I feel like I am, but comment below if I am right. Next we have Winter's Bite, which is long, 12-inch range, 3d8. If the target suffers any wounds, they are knocked down and marked as fatigued, which is really nice. You can still activate them, but it does limit what you can do with the model if they're already fatigued. So yeah, I think that's a very good spell. Especially the Grunts, starting with the Human Clansman. 8 points, 20mm base. Speed of 5, melee of 5, range of 5, armour of 5, nerve of 5, 1 wound, height 2. 2d8 in melee, 1 at range. Fairly standard Grunt, fairly cheap for what it is. Stats aren't terrible for a basic Grunt, does what it needs really. Next we have the Elf Clansman. 11 points, 20mm base. Speed 6, melee 5, range 4, armour 5, nerve 5, 1 wound, height 2. 1d8 in melee, 2d8 at range, which has a bow, 12-inch range. Extra 3 points, 1 extra better pip at range, 2d8 at range, and gets a bow. Yeah, it is a basic ranged unit, but a range of 4 for a Grunt, that's pretty decent, I've got to say. Next we have the Dwarf Clansman, 8 points, 20mm base, speed 4, melee 5, range 5, armour 5, nerve 5, 1 wound, height 2. It's got headstrong. 2d8 in melee, 1 at range, can take a frost hammer for 1 point. A great two-handed hammer wielded by the Dwarf clan in the north. The model gains crush strength 1, but increases its armour by 1. For example, 5 plus becomes 6 plus, so it's essentially a two-handed weapon. 9 points to give it crush strength 2 and armour 6. Maybe. I mean, Grunts are supposed to be weak, but it's the same points cost as the Human Clansman. It's slower, but it's got headstrong, and you've got the option for a frost hammer. So, I think honestly, probably the Human Clansman or the Elf Clansman are your best for your Grunts. The Dwarf Clansman really seemed like a weak option. Then again, you've got headstrong, so it won't run away as often. So you have got the options. You've got options, I guess. Next we have the Warriors, starting with the Huskarl. 15 points, 25mm base. Speed 5, melee 5, range of 5, armour 4, nerve 4, 2 wounds, height 2. Gets crush strength 1, 3d8 in melee, 1d8 at range. Which ain't bad at all. Usually these elite sort of units have sort of like all the fours across the board for close combat, and then a range of either nothing or 5 or 6 or something. I suppose it's the case of it's downgraded for a melee of 5 rather than 4 because they've got 3d8 in melee and mostly you've got 2d8, so yeah, it kind of works out the same. Still a pretty good melee unit, to be honest. I mean, crush strength 1, that's always good. It's on a bigger base and the model is fairly fantastic. It's kind of like a Norse from Skyrim, as if they've eaten all the pies or wearing too much armour. Trying to overcompensate, I guess. Next we have the Ice Naiad. 12 points, 20mm base. Speed 6, melee 5, range 5, armour 6, nerve 5, 2 wounds, height 2. Regeneration 7 plus. 2d8 in melee, 1d8 at range, and comes with a frost trident. For any wound caused by a melee attack with a frost trident, the target model is pinned in place until the end of their next activation. I'm assuming there's frost growing around their legs and whatnot. While the model is pinned, their speed is reduced to 0 and they cannot make a breakaway action. Now, if they have to take a nerve test and that nerve test forces them to move, does this negate their frost trident rule? I'd say it doesn't, but it's still something to be asked. The Ice Naiad, I'm struggling here. It's 4 points more than a Human Clansman. The armour is way worse. It's got 2 wounds, okay. It's got to regenerate, fine, but it's on a 7 or 8, so a lot of the time it won't work, but it's there, I guess. The Frost Trident's nice, I guess. So extra wound, it's got to regenerate, so it's got the Frost Trident. If its arm was better, I'd say yeah. It's only 12 points, I guess. So yeah, okay, I can get on board with that, I think. Just. Next we have the Half Elf Berserker. 19 points, 20mm base. Speed 6, melee 4, no range stat, armor 6, nerve 4, 2 wounds, height 2. Comes with Bloodlust. 3d8 in melee, none at range. It's got Frenzy, need 1 power to use. Use this ability to gain 2 bonus dice when this model makes a melee attack, not a retaliation. Spend the power before rolling any dice. Cannot be used in conjunction with the normal use of power to gain bonus dice for a roll. So it's just a Berserker unit. Armour's naff, nerve is good, melee is good. Got 3d8 and Bloodlust is always helpful. 19 points, slightly on the expensive side, but then again it's a Berserker unit, it's all about risk. You are going to have to make them work, but once they do work, they are going to be painful as all hell. Next we have the sport. It is the Icekin Hunter. 22 points, 20mm base. Speed 6, melee 5, range 4, armor 6, nerve 4, 2 wounds, height 2. Marksman, Pathfinder and Scout. 1d8 in melee, 2d8 at range. It's got bow, which is 12-inch range. Rapid fire, which needs 2 power to use. Uses ability when this model is about to perform a ranged attack before dice are rolled. The model may shoot once each at 2 different targets, a total of 2 shots that are within 3 inches of each other, following the normal targeting rules. This cannot be as part of a group or fatigue action. Can you use this to do 2 attacks at 1 target? That's something that really should have been in there. I'd have thought that had been obvious, but whatever. It's not bad. I feel it's a little bit expensive considering the rapid fire is good, but that's needing you to get power to use it. Melee of 4, but a lot of warriors have also got melee of 4. Pathfinder and Scout, but good mobility options. I feel it's about 4 points too much, I reckon. Yeah, it's about 4 points too much. It's not bad, but it's a little bit expensive for what it does, I feel. So next we have the large, starting with the Snow Troll. 34 points, 40mm base. Speed of 6, melee of 5, range of 5, armor 4, nerve 4, 5 wounds, height 3. Regeneration 6+, vicious, crush strength 2. 48 in melee, none at range. Vicious Swipe. When attempting to break away from a troll, enemy models have a -1 modifier when they make their armor save roll, which can be really, really powerful. Is it better just to stay in there and hope you kill it, or hope you survive? Or do you risk the chance of getting your head caved in? The Snow Troll is a really nice large unit. Got good melee. It's got regeneration on the 6, so 3 out of 8 times it'll work, which is bad. Armor's good, nerve is good. Got a lot of wounds. Vicious is nice to have. It's just nice all round. Points cost slightly cheap, I'd say, but consider for what it does, it is very nice. Next we have the Frost Fang Cavalry. 35 points, 50mm base. Speed of 5, melee of 4, no range stat, armor 3, jeez. Nerve of 4, 4 wounds, height 3. Smash, Bloodlust, Crush Strength 3, Cavalry. It's got 3d8 in melee, none at range. This is really good. It's got less dice than the Frost Troll, and it's got less wounds, surprisingly, but it's got an armour of 3. This is going to be a pain to take down. I'd have thought it'd have more dice in close combat, but yeah, it's still really good. An armour of 3 though, I'd have thought it'd be something like 40 points for that. Do you want more dice? Frost Troll. Do you want something that's got better armour and better crusher strength? Frost Fang Cavalry. But we do have one more. The Ice Elemental. 47 points, 40mm base. Speed of 5, melee of 5, range of 5, armour 4, nerve of 3, 5 wounds, height 2. Crush strength 2 and pound. 48 in melee, none at range. Ice Blast, which needs 1 power to use. Use his ability when a model is knocked down by this elemental in melee. The model must take a nerve test. If the test is failed, the model is marked as fatigued. Nice. Icy Breath needs 2 power to use. Use his ability when taking a shoot action. Make a range attack using a range value of 5+. It's 3d8, range 9, breath, piercing 1. So you're basically breathing cold on people. It's a shame it needs 2 power, but considering it's a large with all the rest of the stuff large models usually have, I can understand it. It's also the most expensive, being 47 points, which is expensive, but again, considering what it does, it's kind of understandable. Nerve is brilliant on this one. It's got pound, which is great. 48 in melee. It's probably the best all-rounder out of the 2 of the Frost Troll, out of the 3, so to say. If you want the all-rounder, you've got the Ice Elemental. If you want something that's probably got a bit more punch, go for the Frost Troll, but if you want something that's a bit more durable overall, go for the Frostfang Cavalry. All of them good, and considering the clan rule, you can have 2 large, so more than normal, so you've got options. This is large / command. In this one we've got the Snow Troll Prime. Gives 1 white power die. It's 54 points, 40mm base. Speed 6, melee 4, no range stat, armor 4, nerve of 3, 5 wounds, height 3. Regeneration 6+, inspiring, crush strength 2 and vicious. 5d8 in melee, not at range. It's got vicious swipe. When attempting to break away from a troll, enemy models have a -1 modifier when they make their armor save roll. So what difference has it got from a prime to a normal snow troll? Melee stat is better, nerve is better. It's got a power, it gives a power dice which the snow troll doesn't. It's got inspiring which snow trolls don't. It's got an extra dice in close combat. So it's 20 points more, but it's a command unit as well. It's pretty good at being 5d8, hitting on 4s with crush strength 2. That's painful. And giving 1 white power dice, that's always good as well. A nerve of 3 means it's not running away that often. It's really powerful, although you've got to take into account it's using a command and a large. You're using one of your large slots and a command slot as well, so you've got to have to be careful there. It's also 54 points, so in a 200 point game that's going to be taking up a large chunk of your force. Next we have the Spellcaster. It is the Ice Queen. 33 points, 20mm base. Speed of 6, gives 1 blue power dice by the way. Speed of 6, melee of 5, range of 5, armor 6, nerve of 4, 3 wounds, height 2. Gives inspiring. Well, has inspiring. 2d8 in melee, 1d8 at range. It's got dazzle, which is short. I've not seen any Spellcaster with that by the way. Heal, short, lightning bolt long, wind blast long. Lash, which uses 1 power to use. Use ability when casting the lightning bolt spell to make it a short action to cast instead of a long action. That's pretty good. That does mean you can do either a dazzle or a heal as well as a lightning bolt, which is nice. Stats wise, they're not great, but I don't know why it's got 2d8 in melee and not 1d8 in range rather than the other way around. Surely that should be the case. But hey ho. Nerve is good, 3 wounds and inspiring, and blue dice for power. That's always good. Yeah, I don't know why it's not 2d8 at range, but hey ho, it is. Next we have the command, starting with the Ice Blade. 42 points, 40mm base. Gives 1 white power die. Speed 6, melee 4, no range stat, armor 6, nova 4, 3 wounds, height 2. Bloodlust 6th sense, crushing strength 1 and dodge 40-80 melee, none at range. Frenzy needs 1 power to use. Use this ability to gain 2 bonus dice when this model makes a melee attack, not a retaliation. Spend the power before rolling any dice. Cannot be used in conjunction with the normal use of power to gain a bonus dice for a roll. I mean, you got 48, so you're getting 6. Ooh, yikes. Blade Master, 2 power to use. Use this ability when this model makes a melee attack, including retaliations, before dice are rolled. The Ice Blade may attack all enemy models that it is engaged with its front arc by dividing the attack between them. Allocate the dice to be used for each enemy model before any are rolled. If the Ice Blade initiated the fight, only one enemy model may retaliate. Wow. Enemy player's choice, and only after all the Ice Blade attacks are resolved. Bonus dice granted to the status of models, for example knocked down, can only be allocated to that model. So so if you've got enough power, you can combo Frenzy and Blade Master together, essentially getting 6 dice and sharing them out. You could potentially get 6 targets. But maybe, probably share it out between 2 or 3 at most, I'd say. It's not bad commander, armor's a bit naff, but melee's great. Nerves good, 3 wounds, gives a white power dice, which is good. Bloodlust and 6th Sense and dodge are always good offensive / defensive capabilities. Crush strength 1's a bit low, but it's more of a swift fighter rather than a hammer bludgeoning you over the head sort of thing. Next we have the Theurgin. Theurgin, not sure how to pronounce it. 39 points, 25 mil base, 1 blue power die. Speed 5, melee 4, range 4, armor 4, 3 wounds, nerve 3, height 2. Inspiring, crush strength 1. 4d8 in melee, 1d8 at range. Surprising ain't 2, but hey ho. Head swing, 1 power to use. Uses ability when making a melee attack, not a retaliate, instead of rolling it as normal. Every enemy model that is engaged with this model must make a nerve test with a -1 modifier. If any model fails its test, it is knocked down and marked as fatigued. Once all models have made a test, the melee attack ends. Models may retaliate if permitted to do so as normal. Okay, so not essentially doing damage here, you're just knocking everyone down. That's pretty decent, and marked as fatigue. That's really going to complicate things. Theurgin could kill things as a lot of offensive commanders could, but actually you could use it as a support option, knocking people down and then using the others just to shoot at them or sweep them down as normal. But don't forget, if you've already got someone that's knocked down, that's taken a lot of wounds, they are gonna potentially die a lot quicker. I would honestly take the Theurgin over the Ice Blade. Only reason being, the armor's better, can take a range stat if you need, and that head swing, it's only 1 power to use. So if you get that setting off just right, you can just shoot a load of enemies to death really easily, or get a lot of group charges off just to mince enemies to pieces. So yeah, that's why I'd go for the Theurgin a bit more, I'd say. They are good all-rounders, but there is a few little things just to watch out for. Their armour on a lot of their units is a little bit low, but that's made for by the fact that they are good offensive capabilities. Their shooting is a bit naff, however. Most basic shooting you've got has got no piercing, or if you need to get the piercing out, you need to use a lot of power. Their spellcasters are alright, I guess, but they haven't got many dice to do so, so you're going to have to make it work really well. Again, it's not a bad range unit. They've not got horrible range units, it's just compared to a lot of forces in Vanguard, they haven't got really great ones. They have got really good large units. Their warriors aren't bad either, got to be said. Their support is a bit lacking, but then again, it's not really an issue considering what else is out there. Not a bad starter faction, and if you like painting furs and cold colours, you'll do really well with these, I think. So that's it for this video. Goodbye for now.